Hello students. So this is alkyl halide and aryl halides part 2. In the previous lecturing, we have studied about the classification of alkyl halides, aryl halides, and methods of preparation of alkyl halides and etc. That is in part 1. In this session, we will learn the following things regarding properties of alkyl halides, that is reactions of alkyl halides, hydrolysis, reaction with potassium nitrite, silver nitrite, formation of nitro compounds, nitriles, isonitriles, Williamson's, ether synthesis. All these are very important nucleophilic substitution reactions. Based on reaction kinetics, you may suppose to study the two important types of nucleophilic substitutions, SN1, SN2. In addition to that, SNI reactions and elimination versus substitution reactions. We shall begin with the nucleophilic substitutions. Why these alkyl halides prefer to undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions? When we compare the reactivities of alkyl halides towards their reactions, tertiary alkyl halides are much more reactive than secondary than primary alkyl halides. This order of reactivity depends upon the formation of stable carbocation. Tertiary carbocations are more stable than secondary than primary. In the same order, the alkyl halides reactivity is also explained. Alkyl group may be different. If halogen atom is remained same, we will follow the order of reactivity is like this. If alkyl group is remained same, when halogen atoms are different, in such case, iodides are more reactive than bromides, chlorides to that of the fluorides. For example, you can see methyl iodides are much more reactive than methyl bromide than methyl chloride to that of the methyl fluoride. It all depends upon their bond dissociation energy and so on. Again, among the primary alkyl halides, smaller the carbon chain, much more will be the reactive. So that's why methyl halides are more reactive than as chain increases in the structure of an alkyl halide. You can see this order of reactivity of the primary alkyl halides. Before going to study about the nucleophilic substitutions, we must have to have a knowledge of the nature of the carbon to halogen bond in the alkyl halides. Carbon to halogen bond is a polar bond. Since there is a large differences in the electronegativity character of halogen atom and carbon. Halogen is highly electronegative atom. So when halogen group is attached to carbon atom of the alkyl group, the alkyl groups will induce the plus I effect, so that the halogen atom is having more tendency to withdraw the electrons towards itself. Because of that, Carbon acquires a positive charge, halogen acquires a negative charge. Depending upon type of an alkyl group, the polarity may be changes and the negativity character of halogen atom may be going to be changed. So therefore, when you take the different alkyl groups, whether it is a secondary, tertiary or primary, then the nature of the carbon to halogen bond is going to be differing. Based on that, we must explain the reactivity of alkyl halides towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. You can see here, the always tertiary type of alkyl halides are much more reactive than secondary than primary. When you account for bond dissociation energy, carbon to fluorine bond has more bond dissociation energy to that of carbon to iodide bond. So therefore, bond dissociation energy decreases, the reactivity will be increases. The why this kind of tendency has been observed, the fluorine to iodine, when you go from here to here down to the group in the halogen series, the size of halogen atom increases down to the group. And size is goes on increases, even electronegativity character is also decreases. So because of that reason, the nuclear force between these carbon to fluorine, it is much more and bond strength is very high. But where you will not find such case in case of carbon to iodine bond. That's why from carbon to fluorine, carbon to chlorine, carbon to bromine, carbon to iodine, when you compare this, the bond dissociation energy decreases where reactivity increases. That's why alkyl iodides are much more reactive than bromides, chlorides to that of the fluorides. What are the important reactions of alkyl halides? As already I have told you, alkyl halides preferably undergo nucleophilic substitutions and elimination reactions. Now we can focus towards only substitution. Later we shall discuss on elimination reactions. Why these alkyl halides prefer to undergo nucleophilic substitutions? The reason is carbon to halogen bond is polar in nature. Due to that, carbon acquires positive charge where halogen acquires a negative charge. Any nucleophile comes and approaches the positively charged carbon atom, provides a space to attack the nucleophile, where a halogen atom being act as a living group in the presence of a strong nucleophile. Any strong nucleophile like OH minus or CN minus, you can take, or even alkoxy group, when it approaches to carbon atom of an alkyl group in the alkyl halides, immediately it would attack and then halogen atom is get replaced. Halogen atom is acting as a living group. So because of that reason, it gives out a nucleophilic substituted product. So that's why alkyl halides prefer to undergo nucleophilic substitutions. Here carbon to halogen bond is polar in nature. Nucleophile would attacking towards the carbon, electropositive carbon, that is positively charged carbon. Then halogen atom being a living group, it is coming outside as X minus. X is also one of the nucleophile, but in the presence of strong nucleophiles, it is easily get replaced by the nucleophiles to form a nucleophile substituted products. Based on reaction kinetics, you will find two important types of nucleophilic substitutions. One is unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, often called as SN1 mechanism. It is a two-step mechanism where it involves breaking of carbon to halogen bond, making of carbon to nucleophile bond. Another one is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution, wherein the reaction takes place in a single step, often called as SN2 type of reaction. This is a general sequence for nucleophilic substitution, whether it is SN1 or SN2. L means leaving group, nucleophile attacking towards this carbon to form nucleophile substituted product. You may find these kinds of nucleophiles may replace the halogen atom to form nucleophile substituted product. Nitronium, the NO2 minus, N3 nitride, carboxylate ion, Cn minus, I minus, Br minus, and even thiol group, etc. All these will act as nucleophiles and they may attack the carbon to halogen bond to give nucleophile substituted product. You can see here many kinds of reactions, nucleophilic substitutions. Alkyl halides, this is general sequence. Here Nu stands for nucleophile. When alkyl halide react with base like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, you will find formation of alcohol, and water is also to give alcoholic product. When alkyl halides react with sodium alkoxide to form respective ether compounds, it is not alcohol, it is an ether compound. Ether compound is, we can write it like this. Okay. This is ROR dash, it is, or RO, R and ether. Then thiolate to form again thioethers, similar to this, thioalcohols and thioether formation. And so on, even you may going to get primary, secondary amines there by reaction with ammonia and so on. So like how you will find many kinds of the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So we can see the important types of the nucleophilic substitutions and their mechanisms also. Based on reaction kinetics, they have been classified. So therefore, we can study the important set of the mechanisms. Just I will write it here. This will be RO, or it is ether, it is. Okay, by mistake it is given as ROH. Okay, I hope you understand this. Then types of nucleophilic substitution reactions. We shall begin with SN1 reaction and its mechanism. SN1 reaction and its mechanism. SN1 reactions are unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions. SN1 reactions are unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions. These will obey the first order kinetics, in which rate of reaction depends only on the concentration of the substrate, often called as alkyl halide, but independent of nucleophile, where rate is represented as K into, that is R minus Rx bond. Rate is directly proportional to molar concentration of alkyl halide, but independent of the nucleophile. They will follow the first order kinetics, where K is supposed to be called as rate constant of the first order reaction. Such reactions usually called as unimolecular substitution reactions, which follow the first order kinetics, simply abbreviated as SN1 reactions. S stands for substitution, N stands for nucleophile, where 1 is nothing but unimolecularity, is representing the unimolecularity, or it may proceed by first order reaction. SN1 reactions were generally given by tertiary type of alkyl halides. When you compare the order of reactivities of alkyl halides towards SN1 reactions, tertiary alkyl halides more reactive than secondary than primary to that of methyl halides. Generally, tertiary alkyl halides react by SN1 mechanism. For example, you can see hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. When tertiary butyl bromide reacts or heated with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide to give tertiary butyl alcohol. In this reaction, rate is not increased by the addition of sodium hydroxide. It means it not at all going to depends on the concentration of the sodium hydroxide or base. That means nucleophile. The rate depends only on the concentration of the alkyl halide. So therefore it will follow the first order kinetics, or we may say that the unimolecular substitution reaction. What is the mechanism of this SN1 reaction? We can explain with respect to hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. It is involving two-step mechanism. The first step is a slow step, where it is called a rate determining step. The step 1 involves ionization of carbon to halogen bond. Why it prefer to undergo ionization before attack of the nucleophile? The reason is halogen is highly electronegative. At the same time, the carbon to halogen bond is substituted by 3 methyl groups. They largely induce the plus I effect. They will push their electrons. At the same time, this bond becomes weakened and easily get ionized. So therefore, during the process of reaction, carbon to halogen bond becomes weakened due to plus I effect of the alkyl groups and the high electronegativity of this chlorine atom. Because of this ionization, slowly it gets dissociated and then a carbocation is formed. This is called tertiary butyl cation. This is a slow step of reaction. It is a rate determining step. The nucleophiles, even in addition to sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide as the reagents, we may also use water and ethanol or any alcoholic solvents. But very sequence of the reaction is, the first step is slow step or rate determining step. In this step, you will find ionization of the carbon to halogen bond to form a carbocation. Second step is very fast step of the reaction. The carbocation which is formed readily approached by nucleophile, and then a nucleophile substituted product is going to form. It means here you can see this tertiary butyl carbocation. It is possessing positively charged carbon atom readily attacked by the nucleophile. However, carbocation in which positively charged carbon atom is planar in structure, because it is sp2 hybridized, the attacking nucleophile may attack either above or below the plane on either of the side or either of the direction. It may going to give racemic mixture, racemized product. Later we can see the stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. When you look into this particular mechanism of the steps, This mechanism reveals that the first step is rate determining step. It involves only one molecule of alkyl halide, that is what it undergoes ionization. Rate is totally depends upon the concentration of alkyl halide, but it is independent of the nucleophile. Hence, the type of reaction, it depends only on the concentration of alkyl halides and is referred as SN1 reaction, as it follows the first order kinetics. And moreover, number of species that are involved in the rate determining step is only one. Number of species that are involved in the rate determining step is only one, that is alkyl halide. That's why it is called unimolecular reaction. Molecularity is nothing but number of molecules which are get involved in the rate determining step of the reaction. So therefore, in the rate determining step where ionization takes place, only alkyl halide is involved. That's why it is SN1 type of reaction. SN1 reaction may also going to be associated with some rearrangement. As already I have told you, tertiary alkyl halides are much more reactive than secondary than tertiary. But in fact, sometimes primary alkyl halides which are get highly substituted may also proceeds by SN1 mechanism through the formation of a stable carbocation. You can see this 1-bromo-2,2-dimethyl propane. Because of this larger alkyl group, this bond will get dissociated slowly. A primary carbocation is formed. It will proceeds by 1,2-hydride shift. This because of to gain the stability, because primary carbocations are less stable. So here one of the hydrogen atom or methyl group is get transferred. By the transfer of this 1,2-alkyl shift to this positively charged carbon, you may get tertiary type of carbocation, because this alkyl group is transferring to the less stable carbocation of the carbon, so that it will proceed by 1,2-alkyl shift. Then you are going to get tertiary type of carbocation. Later, this will attacked by nucleophile to form nucleophile substituted product. So therefore, you may also find that SN1 reaction has to be proceeds even associated with rearrangement type of reaction. This particular step is called rearrangement type of step or rearrangement reaction. 1,2-alkyl shift it is. 1,2-alkyl rearrangement type of reaction. What are the important factors which are favorable towards SN1 reaction? It is a slow step. Very first step is a slow step of the reaction in SN1, which is called rate determining step, where rate depends only on concentration of the alkyl halide. The product obtained in the SN1 reaction is a racemic mixture. The order of reactivity, tertiary alkyl halides prefer to undergo SN1 mechanism or SN1 reaction because it all depends upon the formation of a stable carbocation. When you go through the order of stability of carbocation, tertiary is more stable than secondary than primary. In the same order, we will follow the order of reactivity of alkyl halides. The always polar solvents will favor the SN1 reaction. The reason is polar solvents very much required. Very first step is highly energetic reaction wherein carbon to halogen bond is get dissociated. In such case, when bond is get polarized, it easily get ionized to form the carbocation. That's why polar solvents favor the SN1 reaction. Weaker nucleophiles favor SN1 reaction. Any kind of nucleophile you can take, because the already carbocation which is possessing planar positively charged carbon atom, any nucleophile may comes and approach. Even you may find benzyl and allyl halides may also undergo SN1 reaction because they will form a highly resonance stabilized carbocation. So therefore, polar solvents, weaker nucleophiles will favor SN1 reactions, and tertiary alkyl halides prefer to undergo SN1 type of reaction. What is the stereochemical aspect of SN1 reaction? Always in SN1 reaction, because of formation of a carbocation, as it is possessing sp2 hybridized planar carbon atom, positively charged carbon, nucleophile may going to come and approach in either of the side, above or below the plane. Whenever you can take an optically active type of an alkyl halide, in such case you will find the enantiomeric forms of the products. The formation of enantiomeric pair is due to the formation of carbocation, whose geometry is planar. Racemic mixture is said to be proceeds with racemization. If enantiomers are formed in equal amounts, then reaction is said to proceed with a complete racemization. In the case of a complete racemization, no optical activity is detected in the mixture. What it shows that when enantiomeric pairs, that means these are having opposite configurations, they are mirror images of each other but not superimposable. When they are formed in equimolar mixtures, then it is called a racemic mixture. When reaction proceeds through the formation of racemic mixture, then we can call it as a racemization. If enantiomers are formed in equal amounts, then reaction is said to be proceeds with complete racemization. So you will not find any optic. In such case, a complete racemization would not have any optical activity because the racemic mixture is optically inactive. When you go through this particular word, in SN1 reaction, if the halogen atom is present on the stereocenter, if an alkyl halide is asymmetric in character, having chiral center, leads to the formation of enantiomers. Enantiomers are nothing but optical isomers which are mirror images of each other but not superimposable. One with the same that is relative configuration as to that of reacting alkyl halide, that will retains configuration. Another is going to be obtained as an opposite configuration. So therefore, when equimolar mixtures of opposite configurations, enantiomeric forms are formed, then we can say that it is a racemic mixture. So therefore, always SN1 reaction may proceeds by racemized product, racemic mixture it is. What is the reason for this? As already I have told you, a planar carbocation may going to attack by the nucleophile on either of the side. If the carbon atom containing halogen atom is asymmetric, then product formed will be racemic mixture. This is because the nucleophile can attack the planar carbocation from any one of the direction, giving either 50% of dextrorotatory or 50% of levorotatory isomer. It may going to form in equimolar mixtures. For example, if you take a 2-bromobutane, it is an optically active alkyl halide. Since it is possessing chiral center, asymmetric carbon atom, when it is get hydrolyzed in the presence of the base, it gives out the racemic mixture, that is plus or minus 2 butanol, as because of the formation of a planar carbocation. You can see here 2-bromobutane it slowly get ionized to form a carbocation. Then nucleophile is attacking. In one case, it will retains its configuration by attack of the nucleophile on the same side. In another case, in opposite configuration. There are two possibilities. These two are formed in equimolar mixture. This kind of mixture is called the racemic mixture. When we measure the optical activity, optical rotation, it is a dextrorotatory compound, it is a levorotatory compound. So therefore, only very few reactions where optically active alkyl halides undergo complete racemization. But in most of the cases, the SN1 reaction will proceed by partial racemization reaction. Partial racemization reaction it is. Partial racemization means in this partial racemization, inversion of configuration is more preferred rather than the retention of configuration. So therefore, the products usually consist of more inversion product than retention product. In most of the cases, product usually 5 to 20%, that is with retention of configuration, but inverted product is 80 to 95% racemized species. So this is how an optically active compound is going to be present. It is proceeds by this kind of mechanism. SN1 reaction neither stereospecific nor stereoselective, but however it proceeds by the formation of racemic mixture, but it undergoes a partial racemization. Then we shall move towards another important type, SN2 reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reactions in which rate of reaction depends on both the concentrations of alkyl halide as well as nucleophile. If reaction follows a second order kinetics or it is a bimolecular reaction, then we can call it as SN2 type of reaction. Here you can see K2 represents the rate constant of second order reaction. It is a single step reaction it is, and generally primary alkyl halides prefer to react by SN2 mechanism. When you compare the order of reactivity of alkyl halides towards SN2 reactions, primary alkyl halides are much more reactive than secondary than tertiary. But however, secondary alkyl halides order of reactivity in both the cases, whether it is in SN1 or SN2, it would remain same. They will proceed either by SN1 or SN2 reaction. Suppose if you take a simple alkyl halide, ethyl bromide or bromoethane, when it is heated with sodium hydroxide, it gives ethanol. It will follow the second order kinetics. It is a bimolecular reaction wherein rate depends on both the concentration of the ethyl bromide and nucleophile. When you study the mechanism, attacking of nucleophile and that is making of bond between nucleophile with carbon and breaking of carbon to halogen bond are simultaneously going to taking place. The reason is when alkyl group is very smaller, in such case halogen atom is bigger in size. When nucleophile comes and approaches to the front side of this halogen atom, towards the halogen atom being already electronegative, it repels or it will hate the attacking of the nucleophile. So that's why the attacking nucleophile finds its position from the rear side. So slowly it will take its position, thereby forming a temporary type of the bond. At the same time, carbon to halogen bond becomes weakened. This will lead to a high energic state. During this case, a transition state is formed with a higher energy, and immediately this carbon to halogen bond will be broken and carbon to nucleophile bond becomes stable. Then it would resulting in the formation of a opposite configuration, that is inversion of configuration. Why this inversion of configurated product is going to be formed means the attacking of the nucleophile towards a side of halogen atom is not favored, because halogen atom will repels the attack of the nucleophile, and so therefore attacking nucleophile finds its position at the rear side, then it will form this kind of the product. Slowly it will take a position and a compound is formed with inversion of configuration, or a configuration which is opposite to that of the alkyl halide which is taking place in the reaction. And this type of reaction is also known to be called as Walden inversion. First time it was observed by Walden it is, so therefore even it is also called as the Walden inversion. Stereochemically, it is a stereospecific and stereoselective, and it would have to give a inversion of configuration of the product. The important factors which are favoring towards SN2 reactions are preferably primary alkyl halides follow the SN2 reaction, because when the alkyl group is smaller in size, lesser steric hindrance will always favors the SN2 mechanism, because when steric hindrance is very minimized, in such case attacking nucleophile becomes very easy to take the position. Otherwise, you will not find attack of the nucleophile. In SN2 reaction, complete inversion of configuration takes place. It is a single step mechanism. Attacking of nucleophile and breaking of carbon to halogen bond both are simultaneously going to take place. Stronger nucleophiles always favor SN2 reaction, because to replace the halogen atom, and the reactions would going to taking place in non-polar solvents, because you will not find any ionization in this. When stronger nucleophile is there, it is attacking at the rear side, and then it will weakens carbon to halogen bond like this through the formation of a transition state, so that you will find the formation of the inversion of the product it is. So therefore, SN2 reactions will always favored by non-polar solvents. Any organic solvents you can take that will be act as a non-polar solvent. Stereochemical aspect means when you take a optically active alkyl halide, the 2-bromo-octane, it is a primary alkyl halide or even secondary alkyl halide you can say, because secondary alkyl halide will follows both. Hydroxide ion would attacking towards here, then it is forming a octanol. Here it is a levorotatory, it is a dextrorotatory compound. So it is formed with inversion of configuration. It is justified by the isotopic labeling. It is an elegant method. If you use an isotope of the same, if you take +2 iodooctane with a potassium radioiodide compound, that in the acetone as a solvent, that one is a +2 iodooctane, another is a -2 iodooctane, the reaction was found to be bimolecular. It is. That means in the presence of radioactive isotope, we will find the formation of the product like this. If you find the exchange of ordinary iodide with radioactive iodide was accomplished by loss of optical activity, this indicates the formation of an isomer with opposite configuration from the original isomer. Here it is iodooctane, isotopically labeled iodide ion which is acting as a nucleophile. It would take position, a transition state is going to be formed here, and this becomes very stronger nucleophile, finds this position, and you will find a compound with opposite configuration. Here it is dextrorotatory, it is a levorotatory. What it indicates, apart from other nucleophiles, if an alkyl halide in which halogen atom, if its isotope is labeled which is to be acting as a nucleophile, then easily we can justify how the inversion of configuration is going to taking place. So always it means the SN2 reactions are stereospecific, stereoselective, and always going to form a compound with inversion of configuration. What are the differences between both SN1 and SN2? In a brief, you can glance it. SN2 mechanism follows a single step reaction. It will follow SN1, that is two-step mechanism. In SN1 reaction, rate is directly proportional to only concentration of alkyl halide, whereas in SN2 reaction, rate is proportional to concentration of alkyl halide as well as nucleophile. SN1 reactions will follow the first order kinetics, where SN2 reactions are second order kinetics. Order of reactivity is already you know that tertiary alkyl halides prefer to undergo SN1 reaction, where primary alkyl halides prefer to undergo SN2 reactions. Polar solvents will favor the SN reaction, non-polar solvents will favor SN2 reactions. Reactions proceeds through formation of a carbocation. Here you will find transition state. Stereochemically, here you will find racemic mixture formation. Here you will find immersion of the product. Neither stereospecific nor stereoselective, whereas these are stereoselective as well as stereospecific. So these are the points of differences between both SN1 and SN2 reactions. The one more important nucleophilic substitution, within the same molecule, you will find alternative arrangement that is supposed to be called as SNI, substitution nucleophilic internal reactions. For example, you can take 1-phenyl ethanol. When it is going to react with thionyl chloride, 1-phenyl ethyl chloride is going to be formed with the elimination of sulfur dioxide and hydrogen chloride. Substitution nucleophilic internal. Within the same molecule, here OH get replaced by chlorine atom, thereby reaction with the thionyl chloride. This reaction is proceeded by a mechanism called SNI, substitution nucleophilic internal. Since both the nucleophile and leaving group are part of a single molecule. Since both the nucleophile and a leaving group is SO2, nucleophile is chlorine atom. Both are part of the same molecule, that is SOCl2 molecule. Stereochemist of these reactions show that retention of configuration, whatever starting product is there, that would undergo reaction, even product formed is also possessing same kind of a configuration at the chiral center. So therefore, retention of configuration at the chiral carbon atom, nucleophile attacks from same phase as the leaving group, which would undergo departure. So therefore, when we look into the mechanism of this particular reaction, the solvent used for this reaction, generally tetrahydrofuran, diethyl ether, dioxane may be going to be used in SNI reactions. This is 1-phenyl ethanol. You can see this oxygen atom of already existing OH group, which take part in the process where the chlorine atom is internally displacing. This chlorine atom is acting as a nucleophile. This is a transition state. In this transition state, as per the previous statement, you can see, since both the nucleophile and leaving group are the part of single molecule, leaving group is chlorine atom that act as a it is a nucleophile. Leaving group is this entire OH group would come out in the form of sulfur dioxide and water, so on. So therefore, this transition state, it will be rearranged by the loss of a proton. Just you can see this an intermediate product is going to be formed, thereby maintaining SO2Cl. So that later it will be rearranged just to give this chlorine atom. It is a nucleophile and a leaving group is sulfur dioxide. This nucleophile comes and approaches to carbon center, and where you will find 1-phenyl ethyl chloride. So this kind of rearrangement usually called as SNI reaction. But compared to SN1, SN2, you will not find any kind of importance. Only rare type of molecules, they will proceed by SNI type of reactions. It has not much kind of an important. During SNI reaction, there occurs an internal transformation through cyclic transition state, to which attack of chloride from front side leads to retention of the configuration. That is, both the reactant and products are having the same configuration. Okay, why it gives out retention of configuration means this is the reason. Even other important species you can see, this is a chiral center substituted by phenyl group, methyl group, and carboxylic acid group. Okay, this is also reacting with the thionyl chloride in the same fashion. Here you will find chlorine attacks carbocation on the same phase of the ion, where it is leaving group as a sulfur dioxide. So this is also explains about SNI reaction or SNI mechanism. But always this SNI reaction is proceeds by the solvents like dioxane, tetrahydrofuran, and ether as a solvents. Suppose if reaction is taken place in the presence of a pyridine, it cannot proceed by SNI reaction, though it involves, but however, reaction of 1-phenyl ethanol with the thionyl chloride is an example where SNI reaction is taking place. In place of ether, if you use pyridine as a solvent, pyridine react with the thionyl chloride to form pyridinium chloride, and the chloride ion is free for attack on the carbon atom of the substrate, and it would resulting in the formation of inversion of configuration. That's why the pyridine does not going to be used as a solvent in SNI reaction. So this is all about the nucleophilic substitution reactions, why alkyl halides prefer to undergo nucleophilic substitutions, and what are the types like SN1, SN2, SNI reactions, then what are the differences between SN1 and SN2 reactions. So based on this, we can study some more important reactions in the next lecturing hour or next lecturing slides. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.